And here we have Sonic Unleashed, which released in 2008. I actually remember getting this game day one. I was really excited for it, and all these years later, I think this is still a good game. I would argue it's even a bit overhated. I will also immediately bring up that there is two different versions of this game. There's the non-HD version for the PS2 and the Wii, that's the version I got as a kid, and then there's the HD version for the PS3 and 360. I have played through both, and for the sake of simplicity, I'm just putting them both here. If I split them up, honestly, it would just be back to back, since I think they are very, very close in quality. But there are actually a surprising number of differences between these two versions. But something they both share is the same story. So the story sees Sonic going up against Eggman, just like how it always is. Sonic becomes Super Sonic and supposedly beats Eggman, but it turns out it was all a trap. And Eggman harnesses Super Sonic's power to shoot a beam into the earth which breaks the earth apart. And that releases this ancient evil creature known as Dark Gaia, and then Eggman, I guess, wants to take over whatever is left of the world. But Sonic, he isn't gonna have none of that, but he's not exactly himself. Thanks to the negative energy of the Chaos Emeralds, he becomes this werewolf dubbed the Werehog, which he naturally becomes at night, and it's up to him along with this new character known as Chip to stop Eggman and save the world. The story, yeah, I think it's actually pretty alright here. It certainly could have been a lot worse. I like Chip, and I think the dialogue is decent enough in both versions. I don't really got much to complain about here. When it comes to the core gameplay, it is split up between two completely different gameplay styles. There is Daytime Sonic and Nighttime Sonic. Daytime Sonic is very much modern Sonic gameplay. This is when they figured out how to make modern Sonic and actually make it fun as well, where you are going at supersonic speeds, blasting through these levels, collecting rings, taking out enemies, there's diverging paths, you get to drift, you get to grind, and you just feel so fast in this game. Like, the daytime stages of Sonic Unleashed are fantastic. They are exhilarating. No matter which version you're playing, I think the daytime levels are pretty awesome. These are some of the best levels of any modern Sonic game, and all these years later, I think it's pretty great stuff. And then we have Nighttime Sonic. During the nighttime, Sonic becomes the Werehog, and this is where the gameplay comes down to an absolute crawl. Instead of it being a 3D platformer where you move at supersonic speed, it becomes much more like a character action game. I'd say the best comparison is the older God of War titles, where it actually is like a hack and slash. You have a ton of different combos, abilities, and some really long arms. I don't think there's like a canon reason as to why he has these long ass arms either. If somebody knows, you can let me know down below, but it just kind of is what it is. In between all of the combat, you do some rather basic 3D platforming, but it's not anything special. I think the Werehog kind of gets a bad rap. Like, it's not terrible. The combat, it's decent enough. I've played terrible hack and slash games. I've played bad character action games. I wouldn't say this is bad. The controls are decent, the combat is okay, and it does get rather repetitive, at least towards the very end, but it's not unbelievably terrible like some people would lead you to believe. It's just this kind of gameplay really doesn't belong in a Sonic game. It kind of feels like they were more so cashing in on the popularity of character action games at the time instead of focusing on what would make this the best Sonic game it possibly could be. Still, I think the Werehog gameplay, it's alright. It's certainly nowhere near as good as the daytime gameplay, but I'm not going to act like it totally ruins this game. But I will say the balance between daytime and nighttime stages really does depend on the version you're playing of this game. It can be rather lopsided. The HD versions of this game have these hub areas that are just kind of obnoxious, and collecting medals is way more annoying in the HD version, but at least the game looks fantastic. Like, for the time, this was a great looking game. But good lordy lord, that frame rate, it is not so good. I always played the PS3 version, and sometimes it just tanks, getting down to almost the single digits. But if you play the game on Series X, you can finally get a smooth frame rate. It took over 10 years, but damn it, we finally got it, and it's glorious. But you know what's been bopping for 10 plus years? The soundtrack. Ooh, Sonic Unleashed soundtrack, it's really good stuff. All the daytime levels have excellent music, and I actually really like the slower jazz of the Werehog. Unfortunately, you don't hear most of the Werehog's music because once you get into combat, it plays the same combat theme over and over and over, and it certainly doesn't help with the repetition.
Art, I don't want to alarm you, but...
So in conclusion, I think Sonic Unleashed is a pretty good game. It absolutely does have some issues. I know the Werehog gameplay is not for everybody, The daytime medals can be a little annoying to collect and the frame rate can be rather sussy, but I still think this is a fun experience and I can recommend it. If you're going to play this game nowadays, I very much recommend the HD version. While the PS2 and Wii version are still good, I think the HD version is the better of the two, and I absolutely think it's worth playing if you like 3D platformers. Don't let this game's reputation stall you from playing it. Play the game, make your own opinion. I think it's a good one.